my creatives, and welcome to another video. So today I'm sharing an art journaling process in my junk journal, and I start right away with making a tag to include in the pocket that is on this page. This junk journal has quite a few pockets, and I thought it was fun to utilize them as well with my art journaling. So I just created this tag out of a piece of cardstock, and I put a hole in it, of course, because it's a tag. And now I'm taking some gesso and I'm gonna prep my tag for some mixed media. So today's journal page, it's quite an old video because I saved this video for something else, but it's getting so old that I will make something else when the time comes that I will do the thing that I was supposed to do with this video. I'm talking to you, Shay, if you watch this. But yeah, I started out with ripping up some papers and doing some collage. So if you saw the title, this page is all about coping with feelings, and I use my art journal very often for that. For me, it's some kind of therapy to process my feelings, and I made this art journal page back in March. It was when COVID just hit us and all the things came and all the rules, and yeah, and I just got really upset. So this first part is me being very annoyed and frustrated and being angry, and um, I just needed to get that out of my system. So I started out with some collage, and I thought it would be fun if I would make on the tag a representation of the whole art journal page. So the tag is somewhat the same as the page, so it looks like it's part of it, but it will have a different function. I will tell you all about that later on. So I usually like to start with collage, and now I'm just wildly scribbling with a Posca paint marker because I was angry, I was upset, and wild scribbles usually help me get that out. Now I'm taking some washi tape, and this washi tape has some girls on there, and they represented me, people for me, because this page is about people and my feelings. And I will tell you more about that later on while the process is going. But I thought I needed something else as a texture on this page, so I just added these strips of washi tape to create some more texture, and I'm cutting off the excess of the tape on all the sides. So after I was done doing that, I decided that red spray paint was the perfect way to show my anger and my frustration. So I decided to spray that on there, and these are just my frustrated and angry feelings. And I put it on my art journal page. And now I'm taking some gesso, and I am going to paint all over it to let go of these feelings, to put them under there, to let go of the situation, and I will tell you more about that later on. But I really want to explain my process and what happens on this page, and what it means, if you know what I mean. So now I decided that, okay, now I've been angry enough, I've been frustrated enough. Let's start with a clean slate. Let's start over again. I need to let this go, and that was putting on the gesso and building from there. So now I'm going to draw in some circles with one of my jars where I put my paintbrushes in, and just a simple pencil. You can use whatever you want to draw circles. You can use cups or bowls, or even little lids. It doesn't really matter. You don't need to have fancy stencils to do circles. Just find something in your home that is shaped like a circle, and you can use that. So now I'm going in with my gelatos, and I'm creating some blue circles, and I'm going to add some shading to them with the other darker gelato and the purple gelato. So for me, circles and blue are a calming color, and color of healing, and color of letting go and find your inner peace again. So for me, this represented that these bubbles are coming over my frustration and are healing it and are spreading, and then I will feel at peace again. And I will let go of what is going on, and I will just, you know, deal with these feelings and let it go. So I love gelatos to do things like this because you can smudge them with your fingers. They are water soluble, uh, kind of crayons. They look like lip balms, but they blend beautifully together and they smudge beautifully together. If you have a little bit of trouble with your gelatos, just wet your finger a little bit and it will work fine. But usually I don't have to do that. They will just spread out beautifully, as you can see here. If you wonder what I used today in this art journal page, there's always a list of supplies in the description box. And if I can find it online, there is also a link for you so you can see the product yourself. Just be aware that some of them are affiliate links, some of them are not, but some of them are. And just so you know that there are affiliate links in the description box of my video. So now I'm taking in some purple and I'm going to shade a little bit more. And doing this was very relaxing for me. Like I said, the color blue has a very calming and relaxing vibe for me. And you probably know, if you saw my craft room, there's a lot of blue in here. I have a lot of blue stuff. Blue is also a color I often take for my art journal pages. And that's just because it gives me a very good feeling to use blue. So now I'm taking a white gelato to put in a little highlight. And I will do that for all the circles that I'm doing. If you noticed, I keep my shadows always on the same place and my highlights also on the same place. I keep in mind where the fictional light source is, and for me that's right up on the right on the top. So that will make it look more consistent, and that will also help with when you're creating something like this, that it looks more realistic because you kept in mind where the light is coming from. Of course, I'm doing a doodly border. I can't do an art journal page like this without a doodly border. And I'm just using a Sharpie for this. I chose not to draw over the circles because for me, the circles represented that they are helping me to calm down. And they are freely flowing over this page. So after I drew my doodly border, I'm going to add some stenciling. This is one of my favorite stencils. It has tiny dots, and I just used some white acrylic paint to layer them on top. I think it's always a very important part of mixed media to add layers, and don't be scared about covering something up. As you can see, I covered up my collage and my scribbles and my red paint completely, but they're still there and they still add texture and they still add a feeling to your page. But don't be afraid to cover things up because it's part of your process, and not everything has to be shown on there. For me, this page was more about the process and more about the feeling and coping with feelings. And for me, it's most of the times it's like that. And it's not about the end result. I know I make pretty things, and not everything I make I like, but it's not about... For me, art journaling is not about making things that are pretty, although I of course also do that. But for me, it's also a way of dealing with emotions and coping with my feelings, and especially in a time where the world is being so strange and people are acting weird, and like there are all kinds of differences in opinions, and that it makes me that I need to deal with these feelings in a place where it's safe for me to deal with them. And sometimes I just don't have the words to express it, and sometimes talking doesn't help with these things because it's a feeling. So now I'm taking this stamp set and I'm just adding these stamps for some texture. I love letters in my art. I don't know what it is. I just love the look of letters in my art, so I'm just stamping this randomly. And I don't care that it doesn't stamp perfectly, because that makes it more natural, and it also adds another layer to the art journal page. And now I'm going in with some crackle paste, and that's just how I was feeling. I was breaking down. I was, you know. So, let me tell you about this feeling. So, you will also see that later on, and I will tell you more about it. But I am a highly sensitive person, and I see and feel the world quite different than a lot of people do. And I feel more intense, and I experience things more intense, and that also makes me very empathetic. And sometimes it's very hard for myself, because I have trouble of letting things go, especially when things are not fair, or when people are not treated well, or those kinds of things. They really, really bug me, and they really, really get under my skin, and they even can get so much under my skin that it really doesn't help me in my personal life. So that sometimes I just need to art journal that out, and to need to let it go and be somewhat unreasonable in my feelings, without words, because feelings aren't always reasonable. And that's also where this quote comes from: are people becoming more annoying, or am I becoming more angry? Because I was getting so angry about how people were treating each other, especially without being respectful to one another. If we have different opinions, that's no problem at all. It's beautiful that we are all different people, and that we all have different opinions. But there should always be a dialogue, and you should always be able to say, okay, we agree to disagree. I don't understand why I need to think like someone else, and that people don't respect my way of thinking or my way of doing things, as I do respect others for not living in the same reality as that I am living. I don't know if I say that right, but I think you know what I mean. So it gets me really upset, and especially when people don't take care of each other. I mean, we're on this world together, we need to do it together, and yes, it's very important to take care of yourself, but sometimes you need to take care of someone else. And I don't understand why it's so hard for people to sometimes not think about yourself, but think about the other person. And well, as you see at the quote, it can make me very, very angry, because I just don't understand. And maybe that's a lack of me. I don't know. That's possible. But it's just how I think we should live. And like I said, that's my opinion, and that's my way of living. I have respect for other ways of living, of course, because that's what makes the world beautiful. But yeah, sometimes I feel like this, and I think I should be honest about that. Yeah, that I think it's hard when people just don't let you be you, and say you have to enjoy something, or you have to like something, or you have to be like that. I don't like that, and because we're all our own individual person. So yeah, that's what this page is about, kinda, I think. I hope I don't offend anyone with what I'm saying, because that's not what I mean. I'm a very loving and accepting person, and I want everybody to be happy, and I want everybody to feel safe and home and be cared for and be loved. So I really hope that is the message that came across, and not me being just ranting about annoying people. So yeah, on this other tag, I am writing, don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace, because like I said, that is something I sometimes deal with, that I that it takes over all of my own thoughts and emotions, and I just get upset. And yeah, I really get upset when people don't care for each other, because yeah, I think we should care for each other and have respect for each other, even if we are completely different. I mean, respect is so important, and agreeing to disagree is also good. You don't have to get your right, if I say that right. You don't have to be right all the time, and you don't have to fight for um, getting your opinion through. We just need to listen to each other and accept each other the way we are. But yeah, let's just, I think I need to let that go. Um, so yeah, for me, this was, I needed to let these feelings go because they were taking over me. And when it happens, I'm no longer productive, and I'm emotionally unstable, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it that I try to take the world on my shoulders wanting to fix that, because that's impossible. So I need to let it go. And that is what I try to do with this art journal page, and to remind myself. So that's where the outside of the art journal page is really my frustration. And on the tag, on the inside of the pocket, I am letting go and I'm finding my inner peace again. So I just add some ribbon to my tag, because no tag is finished without a ribbon for me. And I am going to add that in the pocket later on. I also stamped these images. I thought it was fun to add something with pressure, because maybe I was getting a bit of a high blood pressure of this. So I thought it was a fun way to represent um, my my lack of letting go, because I know that is something. This is a Kyra problem. This is not a world problem. It's a Kyra problem, and I need to let it go, and I need to fix this. And my responsibility, and um, just accept how things are. So here I am journaling on this tag, and I am saying that as an HSP, I feel and experience things very differently. It really affects me when people don't care about each other. When when there's little empathy, and then I'm thinking about what to write. It can eat me up inside, on the inside. But I need to let that go. Some people just don't understand, and that's okay. You don't always have to understand each other, and that's something I need to remind myself of sometimes. So this is my journaling for this page, and I thought it was fun to actually add some journaling to my art journaling. Well, there was a lot of journaling, and to this page, and I'm going to finish it off with some gold splatters, because I love gold splatters. And that is the end of my art journal page. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you liked me rambling about these things. If you felt offended, I'm sorry. That was not the meaning of this video. But I still hope that you got some inspiration out of it for your own art journaling. And if you like this video, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. I would also love it if you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!